Welcome to Beyond the Sold Sign Real Estate Unplugged. We are your favorite hosts and realtors, Lauren
and Naya.
And we are so happy you're back with us for another episode. Let's get into this listener's question.
I always hear I need a high credit score. Currently, I have a 580. Can you buy a home with a 580 credit score?
To the point. Quick question.
Yes.
Love that.
And yes. Yes and yes. You can purchase a home with a 580 credit score. Some lenders will allow that, and you'd be able to qualify for an FHA loan with that credit score. Now, with that credit score, there are going to be, I guess, some extra stipulations to consider, but it is possible to buy a home at that credit score.
Yeah. I guess they'll have to pay higher. Well, I feel like down payment wise.
Yeah.
Like if you have a 580 credit score, FHA, probably a 3.5% down payment. But anything less than that, you're not that 500 to 579. I feel like you'll be at a 10% down payment.
Yeah. So things to consider.
Yeah, right. I'm okay, pay towards increasing your score or just go ahead and pay the extra funds towards your down payment.
Exactly. Cost. So yeah, you can qualify for an FHA loan, and FHA loans are, designed to help people out who don't have that perfect credit score. So typically, like Lauren said, if you have a 580, you will be able to generally do a down payment that's 3.5%. And then from there, though, you still have to consider what your interest rate may be. Mm-hmm. So it's likely that with the 580 credit score, you will have a higher interest rate wrapped into, what will become your mortgage payment. So that is something to consider. There could be two buyers purchasing the same home, let's say, but their payments can be completely different based on what their credit score is, because then that's going to base what their interest rate will be as well. So yeah, it's definitely possible, but it may tweak what your payment is going to look like.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good point, because I feel like your payment is definitely going to be higher.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
That's a good point, comparing the two. Oh yeah, you got this person has a 780 credit score, so their interest rate is 2 whole points lower. This person has a 580 or less, and that's a huge difference when it comes to your interest rate. So you're shelling out more money on both sides. You're shelling out more money for your down payment, and you're shelling out more money on your monthly payment when it comes to your mortgage.
Right. So It's something to think about, as you consider timing and cost, because there's always time and cost, and the cost of waiting or not waiting and all of those things. So the credit score really, though, is telling the lender how risky this may be in them lending the money for the mortgage. And you might have great
credit
history,
credit payment,
payments on time, but it could be that maybe you have maybe only one credit card open, or you don't even use it that much. So think about the ways that you can healthily build credit to help raise your score, because lenders are going to see a 580 a bit more risky than they're going to see a 700 score. And that is why the interest rate would be higher for you versus another buyer with a higher score.
And they're looking at the overall picture too. They're the lenders, they're not just saying, oh, you have a 580 credit score, I'm gonna put you in this box, and that means that your rate is automatically going to be this. You automatically have to pay us this down payment. They're going to look at it in a whole, as a whole, and say, okay, why is your credit score 580? Is it because, I don't know, something with your rent or a previous mortgage? What happened? Because I feel if you I have a 580 credit score, maybe based on student loans or something, or based on something that may not, obviously student loans weigh heavily, but if something that doesn't weigh as heavily, but if you have a 580 credit score because maybe you had a foreclosure on a property before, I know if you're a first time home buyer, it wouldn't happen, but if you had a foreclosure or for some reason you have bankruptcy, they're going to look at that and really be oh, okay, you very much may be at a risk. But if you're oh, I had a late credit card payment, 1 or 2 times, they may be okay, may not be as bad. So they are going to look at it as overall, and each individual person and scenario. So they're not just going to put you in this box, but like Naya said, you know, you are going to be paying a little more than usual. And I feel like you have like some options, right? Like buyers have options when you do have a lower credit score. So you can either go ahead and buy now, like that's a option. You could kind of wait and let your credit increase over time, use some of the funds to pay certain things off or down. That's where a lender comes in. They won't really be able to tell you based on your specific situation and scenario, hey, if you pay this and this off, this is really going to help boost your score up, and then maybe you could still have some money left over for, you know, your down payment and closing costs. But paying those other things off to help boost your credit score could also help you qualify for programs that you may not be able to qualify for when you have a 580 credit score. Because a lot of programs, like down payment assistance programs, like you can't have a 580 credit score to get those from the state. And then you can also buy now and then you can refinance later once your credit score gets better, and you could refinance for a lower rate. So you do have some options. It's not like all or nothing.
Right. Exactly. So, you know, you just got to think about what works best for you, you know, how stable your income is, what your debt to income ratio looks like. So, you know, those are things to consider if you should just jump in now or if you should wait a little bit, do those things that the lender suggests for boosting your credit. But yeah, I guess the bottom line is that you can purchase with the 580. Your interest rate may likely be higher, which will turn into higher mortgage payments. But whether you decide to buy now and refinance later, you know, once things are a bit more stable, or you wait a little bit to just focus on improving your credit first, you have options to help you reduce that cost over time. So yes, you can buy today with the 580.
Yeah.
There'll be some things to think about, but it's possible.
Yes, it is. So definitely reach out to us if you're looking, especially if you're in the DMV. We'll connect you with some lenders that will definitely be able to help you based on your specific scenario. So thank you guys so much for watching and listening yet again. Please make sure to subscribe, follow, and comment, like us. You can find us on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, and make sure you share with your friends and family on your favorite podcast platform. See you guys next week.